So this video is not going to be too long, people. I'm just going to be here for 1 minute, maybe 30 minutes or so. I just want to tell my story, beginning to end, why I think I'm the most influential, what do I think everyone else had, their contributions, how they fit into the story. Basically, if you were going to watch a documentary about GME and AMC, but more about AMC than GME, this is the best documentary you will ever watch. And so there's no one that like has more of all the information in one spot than I do. And so when I tell you the story, like, sure, there's probably some pieces I'm going to miss that probably matter. Sure, there's probably some parts that I kind of could have said a better way or explained a little clearer. Or maybe I even got wrong for a second. Because sometimes this has been going on for 4 months. And so sometimes something that happened 3 months ago, I thought happened 4 months ago or 2 months ago, vice versa. But for the most part, you'll see this is a very accurate detail of what has happened, why it happened, what's to come, and all that beautiful stuff. If you're just joining the channel or if you're recently new and you want to know the story without going back and watching 3,000 hours of my live streams and trying to actually document it all down, I would be happy to tell it to you. And yes, we will watch the AMC stock price as I talk to you guys. And we'll go from there. So basically, where to begin? The first part to begin is that I got into options when I got into life insurance back when I was 23, which is 7 years ago. I'm not going to get much into that, but let's just say like I'm the most professional, knowledgeable life insurance agent in the planet. No one's even close. So there's that. My brother is proof of that by being the #1 life insurance salesman in the country of the product that I created 7 years ago. And he's worth over $20 million. Suncor Financial. He'll sell you a policy tomorrow if you want it. Like, he'll talk to you. He'll, like, all that good stuff. Especially if you got big money. He thinks he's got the greatest thing on earth, and he's selling it like fire. And I keep telling him how retarded he is because he's chasing pennies when we could be chasing the world. And so he don't want to listen. He's stuck on old shit that I gave him, and that's just how people get. When they get something they like and it's making them money and successful, like, they got to get all safe and secure. And I'm different than everybody. I'm not like my family. I'm not like anyone. Like, I am different than everybody. So here's the thing. That's how I got into life insurance. The product that we were using uses options. Like, I perfected the product. I made it do way better than what anyone else is doing. Way better than the Warren Buffett rule. So all it does is invest in the S&P 500, and it dominates the Warren Buffett rule, which suggests that you can get 10% a year. This does anywhere from 12 to 15%. Like 12% if you assume all the worst case scenarios and like 6 years of down years, just like total beat down. But like if you assume any of the last 100 years and a cycle of that with this strategy, then it's a massive, massive fortune. I mean, you're talking 15, 16, 17% net annual ROI after expenses. So like basically you don't need more than $500,000 to start retiring off of $80,000 a year, which people could accomplish in 10 years of working to save for retirement. So it kind of changes the game in the way that humans think, and like, oh, that's so amazing. I only got to work for 10 years instead of 30 years. But then like when you realize what I realize, and you realize like retirement should not be the goal. This isn't about family and kids. This is about human potential. This is about being worthy to the God that we claim to love. And it ain't about the money, and it ain't about happiness. It's about potential. So, here's the life insurance thing. Was something that like, that was the first thing that I did in my life where I spent a year working totally for free in my parents' basement, mastering how it all worked. And when I got done with it, I knew that what I had, nobody else in the world had. And I tried to tell the richest people in the world. I got in rooms, I got in meetings, all the people that knew about life insurance, and I taught them everything. And they're like, wow, we've never heard somebody say it this way. Wow, I'll eat my hat if you can show me numbers like that. And every time they eat their hat, but then they say, I can't help you. I'm not willing to put my name on something that's so different. It's too much. Like, is there any way to tone it down and make it more conservative? Like, why would you not make it the best it can be day one? Everyone wants to start it off like shit and then like show people how good it can get over years and like build into innovation. No. If we can get the fucking best camera, I want the best camera. If we can get the best cell phone, I want the best cell phone. If we can make a battery last for a fucking month on one charge, I'm gonna give it to you tomorrow, people. I'm sick of holding us back. No more holding back. We got to finish what we started all the time before we actually act like we're living our life with that stuff. Like, I'm so sick of using half-worked shit. I'm sick of it. It's slowing my life down, and that's why I put my life on hold until I can create my own little world where I don't got to play by everyone else's rules. And so for a long time, it's been $1 billion or nothing, and then this happens, and now $1 billion is just... Like, it's not that it's not enough. It's just, it's not even close to what I'm about to get. That's all it is. It's not that it's not enough. I need less money than any of you to be happy. I've been broker longer, but also richer longer, and also giving away more money than any human being you've ever met. And that's a fact. It's a fact of life. Like, by time things are all said and done, the number of witnesses that remember me sitting down at their tables and giving them a 200% tip on my fucking boneless buffalo wings at Red Robin's and a couple alcoholic drinks. Like, you guys got no idea how pathetic you people really are when it comes to your money. You're all goddamn financial Jews, and it's disgusting, and it's the reason why I'm different than every other human being is because I have no attachment to money. I always think about everything else, and then is there some way I can make money on doing that? What is the thing that I want to be doing and then also produces money? And whatever it is, even if it's less money, that's what I always pick because it makes me happier doing what I feel like I want to do rather than what I feel like would give me the most money because I don't fuck with money like that. And so I think I'm the only one. And then the other people that claim to be like me, they just never been rich. So the only other people that say that they don't got attachment to money like I do, they've never had money or they're born with a golden spoon in their mouth. Either way, it doesn't count. You can't say you don't like money if you've never worked hard enough to get it and do the things that you could do with it. You don't even know what it's like to have money. Shut the fuck up. You ain't like me. So, oh, that's beautiful. AMC going red. Oh, let's go AMC. I'm telling you guys, if they don't relieve the pressure today, AMC will go up at least 500% next week. If they don't go up 100% today, it's going up 500% next week, guaranteed. I think it personally it's going to go to 2,000 next week. I personally, like, and every fiber in my blood tells me AMC is going to 2,000 by next week. But if they let it go up 100% right now, I could see it only going up to 300 by next week. If they relieve, like, it's all about how much pressure they relieve versus how big of a bounce we have. And right now, there's actually never been more pressure because this is the first time that they've been selling all of their ammo, but it's their last ammo. Every other time, they knew they could go back somewhere else and bring it up. But right now, they don't know what's about to happen. Right now, in their head, they're like, what happens when we sell our last share and it's 100% publicly traded stock? Never been done before. What's going to happen? Couple institutionals will own theirs and they're going to probably diamond hand because they don't know what's going to happen either. But like if it goes to the moon, they can't miss it because otherwise they go bankrupt. They all shorten the stock. Oh, man, they shorted the stock to stop your options from being paid, people. Oh, man. It's too early to be going red. It's going green. I think they're going to relieve pressure. But even if they do, if you guys diamond hand, we could still hit the point where we own every stock. The whole point of what we're trying to do right now, which I don't think any channel has actually explained but mine, all you're trying to accomplish right now is get to where, because like, so with GameStop, the reason it was able to squeeze 300% in a day is because every single CEO, CFO, every single institutional owner held their shares while retail held their shares. So simultaneously, everyone agreed together they were going to diamond hand. how you could get the CEOs on board with the retail, on board with the government, all at the same time, kind of weird thing. Don't ask me. But, like, I got in late. I didn't get in until February 1st. So I'm kind of giving you guys history that I didn't even know about until, like, after the movement already started. And so, basically, AMC has just been, since we've been trying, since the 400%, they've gone from 150 million shares to 550 million shares. So they've added 3 times as many shares as they used to have since January. Can you believe that, people? No other stock can ever say they went 3 times the share count in 1 month. It's never happened. I call bullshit on you if you say it's happened. Unless it happened to Nokia, or not Nokia, Volkswagen. Like, if it happened on another short squeeze when they were getting squeezed and they diluted it like that and then it squoze big, like, I believe that. But all it's saying is that it would have squozed bigger before we done that. So, it really bothers me that people don't look at it how it really is. And so, ultimately, what's different about the AMC thing than any other stock in the history of the universe is every other squeeze was a squeeze where the government, everybody, like, they put their eggs in order, and then they said, okay, we got to finally let it squeeze, guys. Like, these apes aren't leaving until we let it squeeze, and so let's give them this number, and then we're going to start selling, and we'll do it in this pattern, and then eventually everyone will believe the squeeze has been squozed, and everyone will walk away. And basically, with you guys, they've been trying to kind of just get you to forget about AMC. That didn't work. Then they tried to pay you a little bit. That didn't, well, no. Then they tried to, like, basically rob you a little bit. So for 3 months, we traded sideways. And every time that it looked like we were finally going to start running out of our little box, they just diluted more shares. They diluted more shares. Every single time, it looked like we were going up 20% a day, 20% a day, like we did this last 10 days. Every other time was a fake. Well, except for 4 weeks ago, we had a 1 week rally that was the most real, and that's because I laid on the sword for everybody. But we got people laying on the sword for you guys this time. So everything I've said pretty accurate so far. Now let's get to where I came into the story. So, well, actually, no. Let's fast forward into my life. So basically, life insurance doesn't pan out for me. I want to build the perfect product. Everyone else just wants to make money. So I say, go fuck yourselves. And, like, my life gets a little hard. And eventually I end up in roofing. And I start roofing for 8 months every day, hard as I can. Like, I'm on the roof every single day, 12 hours a day, 6 days a week minimum. And making good money finally, like learning a trade skill finally, getting in really good shape, like physically strong, being able to take pain, all that great stuff. Like, this is when I feel like I finally manned up, first time in my life. And after 8 months, I built a roofing company with my younger brother. And over 3 years, we did $20 million in revenue and made lots of money. And he still is doing it. And now he's doing solar and a whole bunch of other things. But basically, I cashed out 2 years ago. And for 500 grand, I went all into the stock market. And I went all into stock options. I skipped stocks and went straight to options. And over a 6-month period, I did 1,400 trades, day trades. I was probably averaging 10 trades a day at least. And eventually, after 6 months, I probably made 20 million and lost 20 million. Like, not like 20 million in my bank. I probably got up to like 850,000, and then I got down to 400,000. But it was just a wave of like Tesla stock from 600 to 690, or 600 to 750. You've seen how many times I've done that since January. Like, that's literally what my freaking bank account looked like for 6 months of just massive gains, massive losses, day after day. And I'm playing it hard. Like, you guys see how hard I play it. I've been like that since the beginning. And basically, but I was chasing like 10 different types of trading. I wanted to see what all the styles were, what all the possibilities were, where the most money was. And then eventually I just got a little too aggressive and I got a little too crazy. And I started making bets that just kind of drained the whole account real quick. And I fucked up. And that's okay. But I learned from it. But here's more importantly, I knew how to make money. Like, if I played my shit conservative and I just wanted to make money once a month and cash out once a month, I was making more than any other person on the planet. I knew that already, but that was not fast enough for me. Like, from the second my first trade in options, I bet $15,000 all my account on call options that expire in 1 day on the SPY, and it closed, basically the market was closing in 10 minutes. I bought an SPY at the money for $15,000, and this was back in 2019. and the market closes in 10 minutes and it expires the next day on like a Wednesday, okay? The market opens 0.5% on the SPY. My call options go from $15,000 to $80,000 when I cashed out. I saw it as high as $129,000. I had $87,000 in my account when I finally executed my trade, and boom, I went from $15,000 to $87,000 in literally 10 trading minutes, and I knew I would never be doing anything else with my time or money. And I knew until I was the richest man on earth, this is where I need to be, because everything else, like, I've already been chasing every single opportunity everybody said made money. And this was the only thing that did anything even close to what this is capable of. Nobody had any idea what options were capable of, because I started studying all the YouTubes. I joined every single podcast about options, all the market makers, so Tastyworks, In the Money, you name them all. I bought some of the subscriptions. And within minutes, I found that, like, me just trading and me looking at optionsprofitcalculator.com, and I shouldn't say minutes, it's probably months. Like, I was doing this shit forever, right? But it was maybe weeks. I noticed that everybody else was retarded. Like, they don't know anything. Like, they know what they learned, and they probably make money, and that's fine if I want to go copy someone and make money. But if you're trying to be the best, you can't go learn it. You can't go find it from somebody else. If you're trying to be the best, you can't go get it from somebody else. You'll never be the best getting it from somebody else. So, what did I do? Time, sweat, money, research, boom, bada bing, bada boom, lose all my money. Kept going with the research. I find strategies that become infinitely guaranteed to profit. And so, like, now I'm real interested in this low earning money, because now it's guaranteed money. Now if I get $100,000 in my account and I turn it to $200,000 and then $300,000, like, I could go raise $1 billion if I prove it's guaranteed. And so, like, that got me real excited. I threw hundreds of thousands of dollars into that idea for the last 12 months. All of a sudden, I'm broke again. It's not quite finished. The people I'm working with are just mentally handicapped, and it is not getting done, and my girl's stressing out, so I say, okay, I'm going to go get a job. Right after Thanksgiving, this 2020, I start roofing again for a foam roofing company, Straight Arrow Roofing, and for 3 months, I was their #1 employee. I showed up on time every single day, no matter what, while everyone else was late on a regular basis, and nobody had a better attitude, nobody worked harder, nobody got paid less, like, in every single way, I was the perfect employee. Last job I worked, he screwed me out of $2,000 when I worked 10 days in a row in a 10,000 population town on commercial buildings, sun up to sundown. I was supposed to get $6,000. He gave me 4, and I thought there was another check coming. He told me he put it all in the first check when I went back for the next check, but we were having the next week off because we just worked our ass off. And during that week off, it was the January to February, like, situation. So, like, February, or no. So I was supposed to go back to work, like, February 10th or something. And so basically I got, like, these next, like, 9 days off, 2 weekends and a full week. And I sit down, and it's, like, literally the day that they halt the stocks on GME and AMC. So January 29th, they halt the stocks and they steal everybody's money by allowing to sell stocks only. Since then, I found the news article. I heard about Reddit. I downloaded Reddit. I saw that Wall Street Bets had 2 million subscribers. I went through thousands of posts, and they were all in one unison of GME and AMC together. There was absolutely not, like, you could find little one-offs about Nokia and Genus and all these other bullcrap things, but GME and AMC was the way. As soon as basically I saw this happen, I'm studying over the weekend. I call my sister and say, my sister, give me $100,000. We have to be in this. I'm ready for the situation. I promise you we will make money. And basically I find these meme stocks that some of them popped but already crashed. And then some of them, like GME and AMC, were still up top. I bought a lot of AMC. I bought a little bit of GME just because GME was so high. And then I bought, like, a lot of Nokia. I bought a lot of Genus and what other ones? Naked and some other things, right? And all stock. No options, just stock. Because I got to be safe with my sister's money. Like, this money can't get lost. Basically, over the next 2 weeks, most of my things trade sideways. And then AMC gets crushed. And I lose about 30 grand in AMC when it drops 70%. And then GME gets crushed. And I lose about 4,500 in GME when I bet $5 grand in GME. But basically what happened was, as soon as they got crushed in the first week and like GME was down 50% and AMC was down 30%, that's when I started selling out my positions that were trading sideways, and I started buying the stocks in GME and AMC's dip. And every single day I was buying hundreds of shares. I went from the starting out at 1,000 AMC shares and 100 GME shares when AMC was at like 14 bucks and GME was at like 180. And then GME was what? What would it have been if I had 5,000 of GME at 100 shares? That couldn't be 50. That can't be right. Maybe I didn't start 100 GME then, because I definitely started 1,000 AMC. But anyways, you can look at my videos back in February when I was just doing screenshot recordings. On my February ones, by the end of February, before GME and AMC finally popped again, I had 10,000 AMC and I had 1,000 GME. So when GME was at $38 a share, I got up to 1,000 shares of GME and I had 10,000 shares of AMC at that same time. And it was only worth $60,000 worth of, so I had lost $40,000. But basically, I knew it was going to pop. I knew people were diamond handing. The Reddit went from 2 million people to 10 million people. And after it went to the 10 million people, all of Reddit, all of Wall Street's bet went anti-GME and AMC as it was crashing for 2 weeks. All of a sudden, DFV doubles down. I start buying options. And boom, on February 24th, GME goes up 100% on that day. On the 25th, it goes up another 100%. I turned that $60,000 portfolio into $1.4 million net, was the highest it got to before they halted the stock and it started falling and all the bullshit happened again. But that was awesome. Since then, I started trading, basically, they crashed the price again. So I started buying options every Friday to expire. I started buying more and more options. Every time GME goes up 15% in less than 5 seconds, they halt the stock for 5 minutes. And what that does is it resets the order books. So basically on the order books, they have a number of shares for sale and a number of shares to buy. And when the shares for sale run out and there's only shares to buy, the stock price will just start to run up dramatically with no buying pressure. With no shares being traded, the price will continue to go up because there's buying limits, there's buying orders, but nobody's selling. And here's what happens. That momentum starts to run is because people came in and bought up all the orders available to sell. And so what did the market makers do? They halted the market for 5 minutes. They scrambled in the background and they fucking made phone calls until they got their hands on enough shares that they can open the market and reload the books. And every single time the price crashes 10% and then rebounds because everybody's got to come back on the buying side and refill their positions. Think about it, people. It's a total fucking scam. Everything that's happened, there's a perfect answer for why, and it's because they're stealing your money every freaking time. The only person that's been even close to the truth is this channel right here. Trade Trades has been stealing from you. Freaking Matt Kors has been stealing from you. Anyone getting on national television right now for this movement is stealing from you. You guys don't get it. And so here's what's happening. Let's keep going, because shit gets wild. Basically, I lose a bunch of money over a 10, 12-week period, maybe 8 to 10-week period of just all this money that I had. I cashed out $400,000, gave it $100,000 to my sister, $100,000 to my brother, $25,000 to my brother, $100,000 to my girl, and then I took the rest of my money, and I said, I'm going to go get $1 billion, right? Well, every time they halt the market, I consider that damages that I won. Every time they halted the market because the order books ran out, I won that bet and they stole my money. And so if it ever comes to court, I expect to get paid from a check from the Federal Reserve because I know they're the ones that gave the order to halt the fucking stock. And I want to find that fucking memo. They did it 20 times, people. It wasn't just one time. There was the one time that they halted it and they only allowed selling of the stock so they could steal everyone's option profits. But after they got past that and they relieved the pressure, oh man, it was so much worse than that. So, here's what happened. So, this whole time GameStop's been blowing up. For GameStop's already, by the time January's happened, GameStop had already gone up, what would it be? 10x, okay? It's already gone up 1,000% within the last 12 months. So from 2020 all the way to the beginning of 2021, it's already gone up 10x, okay? In that time, Michael Burry, the guy from The Big Short, like the famous movie, The Big Short. If you haven't watched it, go watch it. Like, it's about the mortgage crisis in 2008. All the famous actors. I can't even think of their names right now. I don't even want to try. But go watch it, because basically Michael Burry, the star of the show, has been screaming at the top of his lungs, GME is one of a kind and going to change your life. Buy GME for 12 months. And he says, last time they say I didn't warn you, now I'm warning you. And ain't nobody listening. I wasn't listening. I was freaking roofing. I was freaking working on my stock market stuff. Like, I was not trying to trade stocks. I was trying to master stocks. Like, I shut the world out and I said, what is the stock market? I need to know. Now, I thought I knew a lot of stuff that I was wrong about, but going through this last portion of education, because all the stuff you guys learned, I already knew. But so, like, during this time, I've been learning all the details of the stuff I thought I understood, but now it's like, you can't ask me a question I don't know. I mean, outside of, I think the last thing that I need to learn is failure to delivers. Failure to delivers, and then I need to finish the formula for price prediction. And when I master those two things, there's nothing in the stock market I couldn't make happen if I want to in one single day. But let's continue. So, after I lose a bunch of money, I still got a couple $100,000 left, and I decide, you know what? Rather than trying to beat them all by myself, why am I being selfish like that? And I wasn't necessarily being selfish. Like, I was giving away thousands of dollars in super chats, trying to tell people, like, when they say stuff that's not good information, because I'm watching all the YouTubers. Like, I want to see what's being said and how can I help. But, like, I've always not been prepared to be a YouTuber. Like, getting on a camera has been hard for me for whatever reason up until recently. And so nobody was listening. I felt like nothing was happening. I was losing a lot of money, and I said, how can I help the movement by going YouTuber? And I got all this energy, and I felt like I could do the YouTube, and I totally smashed it. Like, nobody started a channel as hot as my channel of all time. I was the hottest thing on freaking YouTube for a hot minute. But here's what happened. So, first off, I get all my money and I throw it into, well, before, like, right at the same time I start YouTubing, I think, almost like a couple days within, I get on this guy's channel called Andrew Mo Money, one of the largest YouTubers, and he's got 80,000 subscribers, and he basically, like, I've been blasting him with super chats, and basically asked if I could come on his channel, so I get on through Discord, and I'm talking there. I'm telling him all about my story and all this stuff. People in the chat are just saying, like, this guy's crazy. He's got gambling problems. He's a psycho. He looks like a drug addict. He looks like a tweaker. Yeah, like, just anything you can imagine. Just the worst part. Like, they hated me. Well, I mean, it's probably just mostly Democrats that just hate everybody. But ultimately, Andrew Mo Money treated me like a perfect gentleman, and I appreciate that. And so I try not to talk bad about him too much, but sometimes he like says things that are just so shill-like that it angers me. Like, somebody would go on his channel and say, what should I buy? He acts like he's the movement of AMC and GME apes. And then somebody comes in and says, what should I buy? And he says, well, Bitcoin looks nice, Microsoft looks nice, this looks nice, and then if you got anything left over, GME and AMC, of course. It's like, shut up, motherfucker. Shut up. GME and AMC are nothing. Ride or die, bitch. Like, come on now. And so that stuff would kind of bother me, and so I would rag on him sometimes. But other than that, like, I got nothing against the guy. He brought me on, and he gave me a fair shot. And basically, he had, like, he cut out one part and made, like, a special video of, like, one portion of our interview outside of his, like, 2-hour live stream that I joined. And basically, this one part was, okay, Godpill, you say you're so great at options. You got this great story. You got this great background. Well, we're going to put some pressure on you. If there's one trade to make on the options, what is it? I was like, I got the perfect answer, people. I've been looking, and I found it. And like, so my whole YouTube was about me throwing all my money into this spot, saying I know it's gonna hit. Everyone should join me into it. And then, and like just building a YouTube channel around getting people to like follow me into the same spot. And I was like, it's the $40 strike, June 18th, AMC call option. And it was the highest strike you could find. If you went to the May expiration right before that one, the highest strike was $29. And that option was more expensive than the $40 strike, even though it had 1 week less of theta. And so, it was clear and obvious to me that the $40 strike's going to profit more than the $30 strike if you're just buying and holding. But that then also, it's cheaper. And so it's like way more valuable. I get more theta, it's more cheap, and it's just going to, I know it's going to hit. And here's the thing. There was no chance in hell it was going to hit without me. And so the title of this YouTube, like we can full circle it right there to that point. And say the June 18th AMC would have never hit without me, and I'll prove it to you. So, here's the thing. I get in a little beef with Trey, because Trey is actually the leader of the AMC movement. He's got 200,000 subscribers, and he is 99.9% AMC investors. Like, everyone that watches him has some AMC at least. Most of them have YOLO'd into AMC. Now, on his channel, he didn't, like, everyone follows him, so I gotta follow him, and I gotta see what the apes are thinking, right? And he starts talking about how this 500 million share dilution vote might make sense if Aaron can spin it in a way that it makes sense for us to give him the shares, because Trey Trades is a man of reasoning that can change his opinion based on what he hears and sees. And so the Aaron comes and says, Trey. Well, so I call him out a week before the interview even happens. And my video goes viral. Ends up in Trey's Discord, and they gotta put it out, right? So he makes a video about me, all this other stuff. And basically, I get an invite from them to interview the AMC CEO with Trey the very first time they ever interviewed him. So I had it made, people. If I wanted my 100,000 subscribers, I had it right there. All I had to do was act like a good boy from there on out, and I was a rich man. I was a rich YouTuber. My life was set. 100,000 subscribers, easy. Trey shows he's making $70K a month off that shit. More than that, actually. I was just talking about one of his revenue sources. And Trey doesn't even have a tenth of the quality information that I have. He doesn't offer anything other than hype. All he offers is the hype. But, I mean, as long as you guys aren't pissing me off, my hype's better than anybody's hype. But when I get angry, I can understand why people don't like it. But I'm not here for you. I'm here for, like, I'm here for the purpose. I'm here for why I need to be here. I'm not here to be loved by you. I am here to change the world. And AMC is my tool to do just that. And if you guys want to have faith, if you guys want to believe that this is for the greater good, then you can join on board and we can all get rich together. And then as long as you don't get all turned rich assholey on me like the rest of the rich motherfuckers on this planet, you're probably going to have a pretty great life. But the second I find out that you're just acting like every other rich motherfucker that ever had money because you got the money now, don't be surprised when I come steal that shit from you. Don't be surprised. So here's the thing. I just made a huge, bold claim, and I said that June 18th options, $40 strikes, would not have hit without me. How can I prove that? Can I prove that? I say the data 100% equivocally proves it. How do I say that? Well, let's look at the data. So I invested in these June 18th options. A lot of people just like it hurt. Like I could read the comments and I could see that they like. So this is back like early times before, like so before the CEO with Trey and the first interview. I invest in the June 18th options. A lot of people joined me, but a lot of people come in with a lot of freaking questions saying they don't feel good about June and it don't feel like enough. So what else would I advise? And it kind of sent a message to me saying I need to appeal to more people. I'm not appealing enough. So I need to appeal to more people. So what did I do? I said, everybody in my June options, I thank you. Like, stay in it. It's going to hit. I got you. And then I cashed out my June options, and I went and I bought 2023 expiration $40 strikes. And I started proving the math behind the options and showing people how to understand the options and showing you how you could buy the $40 strike options rather than buying the AMC stock. And when it hits the $40, like we all know it's going to, you will have on the 2023 expiration, so you have 2 years to hit these, you will have 10 times on your money. Everyone else that bought in, and we're at $10 a share right now on average between these times. And so at $10 a share, all the way to 40, that person's only making a 3x on their money. Well, my person's making a 10x on their money. So we make 3 more X's than the person that just bought stock and held, and we were just as safe as they were. We had 2 years to hit. They weren't going to hold their shares for 2 years. Get the fuck out of here. If it goes to 0, we both lose everything. It was just as safe, just guaranteed 3 times more profits. And so I just started proving the math, making these special option videos. I got a playlist called Sell Stocks, Buy Options. If you watch those, you should have a basic understanding of options more than anybody else on this planet that hasn't watched those videos or at least done a massive education into options on their own. You like... So, I do all this work. I get into 2023s. I literally witnessed bounce after bounce of us dropping to $9 and then shooting up 50% over the next 2 days. Dropping to $9, shooting 50% over the next 2 days. And then it drops to $9 again. And I said, fuck it. I'm done fucking waiting. It's been 2 months. I've been on my YouTube telling everybody the secrets to the universe and how we win tomorrow because that everybody just sold their stocks and bought the options. Everybody else in the world would have came and bought the stock. Because there would have been more option contracts than outstanding shares, which is a super bullish squeeze signal, and everybody would have squozed the stock. But nobody wanted to listen. So I said I got to take matters into my own hands. And I had a big following. I was getting 300 viewers a day sometimes. Like, compared to now, that's a massive following. Like, I was on average 150 to 200 all day, every day. For, like, my best 3 weeks, it was easy. Like, I was getting super chats. People were just loving it. Like, sometimes I get a little crazy and everyone's, like, freaks out and tells me to calm down and tells me I'm about to lose everything. And I'm like, shut the fuck up. I don't care about YouTube. But this YOLO opportunity comes up. I still got a lot of fans. And I see it hit $9. And I like, look, I want to be conservative here. But I feel like I know what's going to happen. And I'm sick of watching these bounces hit, knowing how much money I could be making and not making it. So what do? I cash out all my 2023s. It's like $80,000. And in my $80,000, I put like 40,000 of it into GME and 40,000 of it into AMC. 2 weeks to expire. So a full 10 days of theta. And AMC I bought like, it was $5,000 or maybe $6,000 or $7,000 of the $11 strike, $5,000 of the $12 strike, $3,500 of the $13 strike, $3,500 of the $14 strike, and then like $15,000 or $20,000 of the $17 strike. And then basically did the same thing on GME, but at the 200, 250, 300, and 420. And ultimately, my plan, my strategy, the reason why everyone joined me, because they agreed that the bounce was about to happen. And so everyone joined me. And basically what we did was we all bet like similar. Most people just on AMC. And there's probably $1 million behind me. And the day of expiration, it got to 1050. So we kind of bounced, just not enough. But when we bought in, The low it's been 3 times in a row has been $9. The low dropped to $8.30. Then it bounced from like $8.30 and then finally went up. And so my $11 strikes were already screwed. Had I waited till it fell to $8.30, then my $11 strikes wouldn't have got screwed. But they wouldn't have dropped it to $8.30 unless I did my $11 strikes. They had all 43 million shares to dilute still, and they've been telling every single ape they were not going to dilute those shares in 2021. They promised they weren't. And every ape reassured me they would not. Guess what? 2 weeks go by. It hits 1050. On the next following Monday, guess what happens? 2 things happens. The price runs to 1220, where my strategy was when the strike hits at the money, cash it out for its 1 to 10x's, because depending on how soon it hits, depends on how much you're going to profit. But if it hits, you're definitely going to profit. And as soon as it hits, cash it out, buy stock. And then when it goes, and basically all of us are going to work as a team. And when we buy that stock, it pushes to the next strike. We buy that stock, it pushes to the next strike. And when I say all of us worked as a team, like I have no idea who's buying with me. I don't know if anyone actually did buy with me. I'm just telling you what I'm doing, and I'm hoping everyone's following along. That's literally like just a fucking Hail Mary. And I have no idea who's doing it and who's not doing it. But that was my strategy. And it hits 1220 1 day after my options expire. 2 of my strikes hit in the money 1 day after my options expire. And guess what came out with that news article? All 43 million shares diluted at $10 a share. Guess what the price hit at Wednesday? $14.50 by Wednesday. So in 3 trading days, the shares they promised they were never going to trade, 43 million of them, they cashed out for $430 million. When 3 trading days later, it was trading at $14.50, and the only people that got hurt in 3 days of it waiting to go to $14.50 in 3 days was me and mine. Only me and mine that bet on April 23rd got hurt. Nobody else in the world. And they cut out how much of profit just to hurt me? They cut out $193 million of profit in 3 trading days just to make sure Godpill and team did not get paid. Did that mean they just didn't want us to break even? Did it mean that they wanted me to lose every dollar in my account and just think that it would get rid of me? Did it mean that we were going to win more than this, and so it made sense to them mathematically to sell for this loss because the amount that we were going to take from Citadel, which like every stock company is all in on the same team, because like if one stock squeezes, it crushes all the other stocks, and so they all agree to try to stop the stocks from squeezing. Like it, I don't care what, they're all true. All those answers are true, motherfuckers. So that's April 23rd. It's like the day after, Monday, when it starts to shoot up, we find out dilution all last week, $10 a share. Motherfuckers, 43 million, the same 43 million shares they said they weren't going to dilute. But you know why they justified it? They said, oh, well, we're allowed to dilute it because we took the 500 million off the vote. Obviously, we weren't going to use the 43 million if you gave us the 500 million, but because you guys didn't give us the 500 million, we decided to dilute the 43 million before 2022. If you guys accept that answer as not a liar, that's fine. I say I hate you and I call you a Democrat. You don't listen to words and you don't think that's lying. I know that's lying. I know they did that to hurt me and steal my money. Why would they steal their own money and let it, like, shut up. You guys are mentally handicapped. I don't care what you say. So, what's the next big play that happened? I mean, every time they diluted, you can see that it's been hurting the price. Aaron tries to come on in his interviews and say every time we dilute right after, the price goes up. So maybe dilution's a good thing, acting like he doesn't know. But really, he knows he's just delaying it to hurt somebody in options. Whether it's me or you, it doesn't really matter. And so they're just delaying it to create a story inside the stock price that people can do technical analysis on. Like, it's all to generate a perception of where everything's headed. And one of these moments, Trey's going to tell everyone to sell, and you better believe it's time to sell. Because the movement dies as soon as Trey says it's time to sell. I'm going to sell before then, but as soon as Trey says it's time to sell, it's dead. It's a dead cat. Because all it takes is 20% of people for this to never be a thing again. If 20% of people sell, the prices will drop by 90% in a week, and nobody will ever try to revive it. So, the last part of the data, the proof that I am the most influential person in the AMC movement. Well, I'm going to give two examples. So the first one is after I lost on April 23rd, Trey made a video about me that weekend, that Sunday, saying if you lost money with this dangerous YouTuber that everyone should avoid, you should highly consider suing him. Especially if he was messaging you, yada, yada, yada. And then he told a lot of fake stories about a girl that lost money. And I don't know if she lied to him or if he lied to her, but I had the evidence. I had the proof that everything in his video was a lie. And I started mounting a massive lawsuit because I lost hundreds of subscribers. My watch time dropped by 90%. My whole YouTube has been crushed since that video came out from Trey. Since that video came out from Trey, I went up for 3 days. I started my lawsuit. Like basically so for 3 days, all my viewers went up by like 500%, and everything was downvote my videos by 1,000 votes. Like telling me to go kill myself, tell me I'm the worst human being in the world. All this shit you could not imagine. Everybody telling me they're going to sue me. They're talking to their lawyer, yada, yada, yada. And I'm a nobody. Trey's 200,000 verified subscriber, like going on Fox News, AMC ape. And so I just launched a freaking nuclear weapon lawsuit at him, and I just prove a beautiful case. And anyone that really paid attention that was watching, they're like, damn, he might actually got this motherfucker. And I've been to court 3 motherfucking times, and I've won every fucking time, and I've won for big fucking money. Like I paid $300,000 to build somebody's commercial roof just so I could sue Hartford, who didn't pay an insurance claim because I was the public adjuster and I knew he was supposed to pay. And so I fucking sued him, and at first mediation, they wrote a $730,000 check. Like, man, I was about to sue the fuck out of Trey. But then my brother hit me up and said, here's some more money, bro. Go make us money. And so I'm like, all right, well then, like, I want you guys back if I'm going to be back in the movement and save the movement. Like, cause I was just going to go bank on my easy money with Trey. I was still talking about AMC and trying to help people out that wanted help. But, like, I wasn't in it. I had no money. I lost everything right then and there. And so when I get back into it, like, it kind of revitalizes me a little bit. And I say, you know what? For the greater good, if there's any chance this can help AMC, because I'm trying to reach out to other YouTubers besides Trey. I still hate Trey, all this other stuff. But, like, I want to reach out to everyone else. And I want the community to understand that I'm the realest person here. And I'm only trying to help. And so I'm reaching out to people like Big Dog Stocks. And he's loving everything I got to say. And, like, he brings me on his channel. And, like, people don't want to forgive me. They're all assholes. Like, I'm going to burn AMC to the ground if they think it's the MOAS. It's not the MOAS. We're going to go to 2000, and then we're going to go create our own MOAS. But AMC is definitely a beautiful, beautiful thing right now. It's going to crush the market. I'm getting paid on puts. I'm getting paid on AMC. I'm getting paid on all of it. So it don't matter. But what we're going to do is we're going to go take the money, and then we're going to go MOAS another stock. Now, what is a MOAS? Everybody, so this whole thing has been geared around a MOAS, and there's a lot of things, a lot of people talking about the Great Reset, and they all promise you it's coming, but nobody can explain where it's coming from or how it's going to happen. They just know what the after effects are. So let me tell you, people, the MOAS can only be accomplished, the Great Reset can only be accomplished by sending everything to zero, which is the MOAS. So a MOAS is something that has an options chain, because all the debt in the entire world, all the secondary market that you know of mortgage debt, all these other things that people can trade back and forth to each other with very small yields and all the big money, it is all rehypothecated, and everything on this planet is rehypothecated to short the market. And there's nothing that pays the system more money than the options and stocks of the whole world. Like, everything they do is getting people to buy high, sell low, getting people to buy options, expire worthless. All of this is their scheme. And basically, one thing that if you're college educated and you've been taught the secrets to the world, you know how to destroy the world, but you're not allowed to use it because they taught it to you. I learned it by myself. And I know they have to know what I know. There's no way I'm the only one that knows this. But the people that know it got taught it. And once you're taught it, you can't use it. Like, you're basically locked into, like, insider trading rules type thing. And so, because I taught it to myself, they can't stop me. And so basically what the MOAS is when you load up on the options and then you buy 100% of the stock and you refuse to sell one ever. And when you do that, the stock price will do nothing but go up infinitely. And the options profits will do nothing but drain from the rehypothecated debt of society. And so what I'm telling you is that if Michael Burry is allowed to be on Hollywood and movies and celebrity and then on Twitter and push GameStop and push the MOAS for GameStop, which was supposed to be, then GameStop was the Great Reset. And all of this was supposed to happen back in January. But what happened? AMC MOASed with it. And it only works if there's one. There can't be two. It only works if there's one stock. There can't be two. Otherwise, there's two currencies, not one currency. And now there's a bunch of rich or poor broke fucks that are rich. And that fucks up the whole continuity of what they had in mind. So, what happens? What happens? They halt both the stocks. They crashed both the stocks. Both the stocks that could have MOASed and destroyed everything. They crashed them. They said, nope, we're going to only allow selling. They broke the law. That won't happen again because, like, Congress said, nuh-uh, that was illegal. Like, just because it's not on the books doesn't mean it's allowed to happen. From now on, can never happen again. Like, that was said at Congress. So, now, GME's become the dead cat, and that's clear as fucking obvious day. Look at the volume for the last 6 months. GME is a dead cat. And AMC became the new MOAS, and now you see the government pushing it. You see Meet Kevin pushing it. Everyone is behind AMC now. And what that means to me is they've restructured the deck to where they're comfortable with AMC being the MOAS. And so you're about to see the greatest market crash of all time next week. And when it comes, AMC is going to be going upwards. And then out of nowhere, you're going to see one other stock rise as a beacon of light to save the world. And that will be my stock. And you are welcome to join when you see it. If you want to see it, you want to join before everyone else even knows about it, you got to join my YouTube membership before AMC hits $100. And go to my member tab and you'll find a Discord. And those will be the people invited. But you got to be the Warrior subscription in order to be on the MOAS team. Warrior subscription before AMC hits $100 to be on the MOAS team. I doubt anyone else is coming on, but maybe there's a couple people out there that are straggling that are ready to join. And so basically, I plan to MOAS everything myself and destroy AMC when it tries to MOAS. And when I do, the world's wealth will be mine or ours. Whoever joins me will obviously be a very wealthy person. And then basically, we're going to take all that money, and as every stock almost near zero, I believe we're just going to go and pick like all the Fortune 500 stocks or S&P 500 stocks and just go buy everything until we own every single S&P 500 company. And then we start to rebuild. Then we do as Joe Biden foretold, and we build back better. In my own state, as governor of Arizona, and as potentially, depending on how stupid the federal government tries to get, I will secede from the country if necessary. I will 100% secede from the country if the federal government wants to do anything besides take my money. If they want to agree to a tax that everyone agrees on and not go to war on, and everyone else agrees with it and everyone else pays it, I'll pay my tax too. But there's no other rule, no other law, no other principle I'm willing to accept outside of that other than pay my tax. Outside of that, we're going to go and we're going to restart at the basics of the Constitution. And anything that I think needs to be updated, we're going to update. Anything that I think is written as intended, I'm going to leave written as intended. Or I'm going to fucking just clarify and make it that much more uninterpretable. You fucking retards. Talking about interpretation of the Constitution. Like English doesn't mean what it means. Fucking Democrats. Fucking Democrats. And so the last story, the trade thing was an obvious thing of them attacking me so hard, of like them just trying to get rid of me because they know I'm a threat. Like, I think I made them cry when they saw they had to dilute all 43 million shares. Because think about it, guys. If it's at 43 million, if they have 43 million shares and it's at $10 a share, that's everybody buying at $10 a share. But had they relieved the pressure to $20, and had I just bought the $29 strikes, or had I just been in the 2023 and they didn't care about giving me a little bit of money, then what would have happened had they relieved the pressure to $20? Less people would have bought, but the people that did buy, they still would have had 25 million shares left. And so not only did I get rid of all 43 million shares in 2 weeks, and then when I don't just mean me, because a lot of people bet with me. Like, there was a lot of gratitude that is owed to me and the people that were following me into the April 23rd play. Even if they hate me now, other AMCers should be owing, should know that they owe those people a debt of gratitude. But after this, what is even better proof of data that I dominated and that nobody has done what I've done? Thursday. Let's find out what day it was. I'm going to find the exact day so nobody can call bullshit. AMC historical stock price. And then we're going to look up the news article that proves it as well. Get the fuck out of here. I did not click on that. Oh, you fucking asshole. Alright. Here we go. So, right here. You guys see this? So, we have a little boom. I believe this is it. Let me make sure this is it for sure. Hang on. Nope, I'm wrong. It is... Hang on. Right here. Here we go. Is that the same one? Yeah, that's the same one. Okay, we went from 1403 to 1264, and then to 1255 to 1208, and then the boom. Oh, that makes sense. That makes sense. So, Wanda went... When did Wanda sell? This isn't exactly how I remember it going down. Hang on, let me fix my brain real quick. This is... Where's Friday? Friday's right here. So Friday we went to a low of 12... Or close of 1208. A low of 1205. With a high of 1284. The Wednesday before that, we had a high of 1299 at 1255. Wanda dilutes 30 million shares. So, I've seen people post things about when executives or institutional or insider ownership sells shares. And sometimes, it tends to look like it updates the day after. Like, if they sell today, we get the news tomorrow. Right? That doesn't seem to be right. Because that's not adding up. Alright. Let's see what this says. AMC Entertainment. AMC Entertainment's one-time China's Dalian Wanda Group pretty much cashed out. Okay, they cashed out their 30 million. Here we go. Okay. Now it holds 10,000. It sold the stock in the open market between May 13th and May 18th at around $14 a share. That's not bad. The shares had a nasty week this week, and that ended at 13.67% at 12.09. Okay. Okay, that makes sense. So May 13th to May 18th, people. Let's take a look. May 13th to May 18th. This right here, we were right here. This is where we were when we were on a Thursday and the Friday went up. And remember like how I get excited about a Thursday to Friday? I don't think I had that math perfectly down, but for another reason, I knew this was the week. Actually, no, no. So this is when I had the math of the 30% ups in a week and 30% downs in a week, which matched the January week, which led to the squeeze week. And so what I did was I took all of my money right here, which was $25,000, $28,000, and I YOLO'd it on this Friday to expire. And I did it on like, I think like the $17 strike and the $25 or $23 strike and like the $29 strike. And basically, when they saw me YOLO, the day after they saw me YOLO, the price 2 days later hit $14. And inside here, Wanda sold all 30 million shares at $14 a piece. It was only at $14 for 3 days. For 3 full trading days. But at the close of here is at 12.57. Then it hits 14. Like, so they're literally, it's hitting 14. They're crashing the price down. It's hitting 14. They're crashing the price down. It's going above 14. They're crashing it back to 14. And then finally, at the end, they bring, like, whoever came in, there's probably executives or whatever to finish the job on Thursday and Friday. And this is when I YOLO'd into the 1 penny contracts. And then after I YOLO into the 1 penny contracts for a total of 4,200 option contracts from Thursday. So I bought them on a Thursday. They expired on a Friday. It, like, the math told me that if it was supposed to be a squeeze week and they suppressed the entire week, then every time they've done that, it exploded on Friday. Well, rather than exploding on Friday, what did they do? They went and just cashed out more of their executives. And then that next week, you guys in 4 trading days got 250% growth. And then the week after that, another 100%, up over 500% in 2 weeks. And then what's even more impressive about all of this, like I was excited at first for all that. I knew I had a huge factor to be a part of all of that. But what got me really excited about this part was it crashed all the way to $37 or $31. I bet that I cashed out at this $37 for a total, I did $15,000 to $70,000 on puts, and I bet when it was at like $58, and I cashed out at 37, and it was amazing. And then basically it went up again, and then I bet it was gonna crash even harder, and it didn't, and I was impressed. And you know what that told me? Unlike when GME paper handed, when it went to 480 and then down to 38 and then back to 200. Everyone that was in GME paper handed at 200. Where here, this was proof to me AMC was not the dead cat I was fearful that it might be. As I was making money on the volatility, I knew it wasn't going to squeeze because I knew they had more ammo. I saw they were controlling the price. But then it didn't go lower than what I thought it would. And I'm like, oh, we might be back in business. And it just got more and more and more obvious that the math is getting more and more bullish. And that if the more we bet on the options, sure, they can try to fight for a Friday. But the more they fight for it means the more that they're diluting out of their shares. And the closer we get to 100% owned by public and 0% institutional ownership. And as soon as that happens, it continues to go up until you guys sell. And so I know that eventually you guys will sell because you don't have the same mindset that I do. I mean, I know there are some diamond handers out there, but you guys got to understand you are not the majority. The only way to become what you want to be is to join me in my MOAS, because that's the only place where everyone is on the same page. Like, I will not accept you into my fold if you are not about sending every other stock to zero and you're not paying me $100 a month. Simple as that. Wow, Lindy, you are a machine, bro. You are a machine, bro. All right, guys. It went a little bit longer than I anticipated, but like, yeah, did you guys think I missed anything? Did you guys think I missed anything? Any big part of the stories I haven't covered? I don't think so. I think that's like, I mean, other than my Jesus stuff, but like, I think the way that that gets told is you guys don't like, that's not going to be until after the Moas. Like, I'm fine with people just not being a believer. Like, I love when people say they believe it and they see it, and like, of course it was something that has to be realistic, and it's not some magic man flying in the sky and just like shooting laser beams from his fingers. It's actually like a person that just works through the mysteries of the universe. But yeah. Very cool, people. Thank you for stopping by. We'll do it again sometime. I'll be back later. I'll be back later.